What's up, guys? Free Spirit Phil. We've got a 8-mile drive down this dirt road to a campground where we're going to be doing some camping this summer. We're just checking it out right now, setting up our hammocks, figuring out how we want to do things, and yes, we do hammock camp. But while I'm at it, I wanted to do a little discussion about favorite motorcycles. This is kind of like a topic that is almost mandatory if you're a motor vlogger, I think, is talk about what kind of bike you like, what kind of bike you want. I have a 1989 Yamaha XT350. It is a good bike. It's served me well. I mean, for the past few weeks, actually all last summer, although it wasn't street legal last year. I did a lot of work, but you know, it's a dual sport. It's kind of the precursor to the current XT250, and it does a good job. I really can't complain about the bike itself, other than that it's old. Because of the fact that it's old, the likelihood of me being able to stick with this bike for a long time is, not very high. The fact of the matter is I'll have to upgrade within the next couple of years anyways. So the thought is always on every motorcyclist's mind, what are you going for next? Personally, I like dual sport bikes. And realistically, that will probably be what my next bike is too. Maybe just a little bit newer bike, but the ability to ride with family on their quads in different dirt areas at the same time, use it for my own trips would be, I really can't complain. Dual sporting is probably going to be what my next bike is. However, it's not what I really really want. I would much rather just have a dedicated dirt bike for off-road stuff with my family, or even just, ride one of the quads, and I would be okay with that. And then have a dedicated street bike. So if I were to go the street bike route, what would I do? And of course, everybody knows there's two primary categories. There's sport bikes, and then there's cruisers. And so within the sport bikes, you got the fully fared bikes, and then the naked bikes. And I am a fan of the naked bikes. I would kill for any of the KTM Duke bikes. Super Duke would obviously be number one, just because it is the best bike. Although realistically, my experience level, I'm not sure that would be a wise decision. I mean, no, I'm not immature in the way I ride. I don't go balls to the wall at any time. I'm a very safe rider as well as driver, and following the rules is kind of my thing. I know my username is Free Spirit Phil, and I say I do what I want, sort of. Oh, moose up ahead. Did you see that moose?
Where?
It was a male moose that walked across. It's had antlers that were just starting to come in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did it cross?
Just right over here, just at the curve. See if we can find that moose. He went into the controlled area.
Is that where it went?
Yeah. That's funny. So, dream bike would be the KTM Super Duke. I like any of the naked bikes though. Honestly, I wouldn't complain if I had any of them. FZ07, FZ09, the BMW S1000R, the F800R, ER6N, which I know Kawasaki doesn't have here in the US anymore. Although they probably should bring it back, considering the popularity of the FZ09, and have something that would actually directly compete with that. So yeah, any of the naked sport bikes I'd be thrilled at the Honda CB500F, the CB1000, the CB1100. Oh, just any of them. As far as fared bikes go, I like the looks of them, but I don't think I could, comfort is a big deal for me. So I don't know that I would ever really own something with such an aggressive riding position. I know people like to take the sport bikes and sometimes convert them to legit street fighters, which is cool and they look awesome. But those clip-on handlebars with that aggressive riding position doesn't really change. And that's not really all that appealing to me. So, if I were to get a sport bike, it would have to be a naked bike. And I would almost prefer it to a cruiser. However, I love cruisers too. And I think my riding style, my personality probably suits the cruiser mindset more this way. So, the ones you gotta, if you're into cruisers, I think you have to look at Harleys. I know there's a lot of people that aren't really too keen on owning Harleys, and then there are people who are all Harley all the time. Me, I think, if I could afford it, that would probably be the first place I'd go. I'd want like one of the Dyna series, either the Fat Bob or the Harley Switchback. And I like the Harley Switchback because of the fact that it's, touring ready. So yeah, the Harley lines as far as cruisers go are good, but then you can't forget the Japanese, metric bikes are not bad. The new Vulcan S probably be the smallest displacement that I would want to go as far as cruisers, but it's got about as much horsepower as a cruiser that is significantly larger, and that's just because of the engine. Taking the Ninja 650 engine and putting that in there was a really smart move, and it's a good looking bike. So I would love to own a Vulcan S. I would probably go with like saddlebags. I don't know that I would ever want anything like super massive in terms of like touring bikes, like the Goldwing for instance. If I were to do a Goldwing, I'd have to maybe the F6B, which is a slightly smaller version. I really like the Vulcan series, and I think I'd probably end up just going for something in that line if I were to do metric cruisers. But I think a Harley would just be first. I mean, their fit and finish is unparalleled. It's what everybody in the industry tries to reach, and I don't think you can just ignore that. And yeah, you can customize it any way you would want. I don't think I would want to customize a Harley though too much, just because I like keeping things as stock as possible. Obviously you have to mod things out some to make it yours. I want a bike that I don't have to really spend a lot on extras, just because I don't have a lot of money extra. If I'm spending the money to buy a motorcycle, the extras are just a little much. So yeah, let me know what you guys like, what you want. If you're looking for a second bike to do something completely different than what you have, let's say you own a sport bike and you're looking for a dual sport, what are you thinking of? Let me know, and enjoy the ride.